Hey, Steve Champagne here. In this short overview video, I want to talk to you about the caller's dashboard for the latest version that we have is 1.6 and tell you a little bit what's coming in 1.7. So without further ado, let's get into this short overview video. The first thing I want to point out is the caller's dashboard opens up into a small pop-up window, okay, once your caller logs in or you log in to use the system. Now, we designed it this way so you could have another browser open over to the right, and that's where you can have your calling scripts. As you can see right here is that I have a calling script, but there's so many other buttons that we have in the caller's dashboard that utilizes another browser. For example, if you wanted to maybe have an icebreaker during the conversation with them and you wanted to check the weather, you could click on the Get Weather button and we'll literally go out to weather.com and get the local weather for the zip code for you. So you could use that as an icebreaker if you wanted to. Maybe if you have the contact's name already, you could go out to Facebook and you could friend them and start maybe doing private messaging, and that could be part of your multi-touch campaign that you have going on. If you click on this button, it'll actually take you out to LinkedIn where you can do a connection with them and start working with them on LinkedIn too, okay? So depending upon what your preferences when it comes to marketing, maybe you want to be a virtual networker. Again, myVirtualCaller is going to help you manage that process. So you would definitely want that. Again, you could open up your calendar. Let's say you're using myVirtualCaller with some appointment setters. You could set up a time trade account and link that in there and put your available times down here like this. And so if you had like 3 or 4 virtual appointment setters working for you using myVirtualCaller, they would be able to book you and fill up your time using something like this. Now you also can link out to just your Google Calendar if that's something you want to do, and that can all be set up in the admin. Another thing you can do is that you can open up your email client, like if you're using Gmail or Google Business like this, you could definitely open it up. Maybe you're utilizing the new Outlook Online. Again, it will definitely open up your email client if you want to send out a one-off email, coupled with say a program like Yesware, which will template your emails out and keep track of what's opened and what has been clicked on. This is a good way to do like one-on-one emails with myVirtualCaller. So definitely want to be utilizing a larger screen. I work on 223-inch monitors, and as you can see, it gives you the full advantage of having all the information right in front of you off to the left, and then having your browser available to you to look at certain things. Oh yeah, you can also go out to their website too. So if you want to take a look at their website, as you can see, he doesn't have a website in this scenario, so that would be something, if I was prospecting towards him, he'd say, hey, maybe I can help you out with your website too. So as you can see, very, very important. So let's get into the guts of making calls. myVirtualCaller was designed to allow you to increase and keep track of your suspect database and increase your call volume by as much as 3 times, and utilizing low-cost services like Skype subscriptions, or maybe using like RingCentral and doing a real click-to-call type of function. Okay, so let's say I want to call Jason. All I would have to do is click on this button, and I happen to use Skype, and Skype would just launch and place the call for me. If you're using RingCentral soft phone, you could use that. Now you can pretty much use any soft phone with some type of VoIP service to make your calls. All right, we actually have one user who's in Romania who's using some type of VoIP service with a soft phone dialer, and it's working just fine for him too. So if you're in an international program, don't worry, myVirtualCaller will work for you. So in this scenario, if I didn't reach Jay, I just mark it no contact. I made a dial. As you can see, we moved over to the next record. All I have to do is click make call again, and we're making another dial. So maybe I want to add some notes for this record. I've spoken with Michael, and I have some notes here. I can literally click on notes, and I can add some notes real quickly. Okay, and what will happen once you add a note, the record then will be denoted right here with see notes. So if you click on here, you'll be able to see your notes. If you want to click here, you'll be able to see your notes. So it's a great great way to keep track of some of the things or the conversations you're having with your suspects and prospects. All right. Now, maybe you want to schedule a callback. Maybe you make a phone call and say, hey, I'm really interested in talking to you, but it's not a really good time to talk with me. What you can do is come over here and schedule a callback by clicking on the day that you want to call them back and then selecting the time that you want to do and just mark it as a callback. As you can see, we've moved on to the next record very quickly and easily, all right? So it's going to really allow you to progress through your calls, make them real simple. We have a built-in DNC list here, okay? So if someone says, hey, do not put me on your do not call list, this is an internal list in the system. And so as you keep on adding new lists into the system, if we come across that telephone number in the caller's dashboard live time, what's going to happen is that we're just going to bypass that number every time, okay? You'll never be able to make calls. So that's how the DNC list works as a do that. So if you mark this as interest, it'll be showed up as someone who's interested in your records. Now, if something's marked as no contact, basically what's going to happen here is that record will stay active until you've denoted it as one of these other things that can happen on a call. All right. This is your document library. You can put all kinds of documents in here. You can put your scripts. You can put some, maybe some quick private messages that you want to be using. I put them in there, so it's a library. Again, you can assign this all in the admin when you're building out a campaign. So far, it's a great little system, but we've done some great integration with myVirtualCaller, and it's definitely here on the calls dashboard. The first being is Pipedrive. You may know Pipedrive. Pipedrive is a web-based CRM system. While we think myVirtualCaller is we call it a mini CRM at this point, it does not really follow a pipeline or a sales pipeline. And so you're going to want to move your suspects, which are in myVirtualCaller, into Pipedrive when that escalates to a proposal meeting or something like that. And Pipedrive is much more robust in that way to manage that type of process, all right? And so with one click of a mouse, you'll be able to move everything that you have in myVirtualCaller into Pipedrive, okay? So we've integrated with that API. All the notes, all this information will get ported right over very quickly and easily for you, all right? Now, I like to do what's known as call mail call, where I'm calling up to get your permission to send you some information. And so I like to set up a 4-day email campaign after my first initial call. So typically my first call is about getting an email address and getting the permission about sending them some information. And we've integrated with MailChimp to do that. So once you've created a 4-part email campaign in MailChimp, all you would have to do is to make sure that you have the email address, make sure you have the salutation, and then all you have to do is click on the MailChimp button, and what's going to happen is that we're going to port all or some of this information over to the MailChimp account, and now they're on that campaign. Coupled with setting up a callback, okay, you'll be able to do a call, mail, call approach to your prospecting when using myVirtualCaller. And I guess the last thing I just want to tell you about 1.6 is that with the callbacks, if you set it up, you can get a daily email reminder of your calls for the day and any past calls that you haven't made, okay? Now, that's 1.6. Now, what is coming in 1.7 for you? 1.7, we're going to be integrating and taking this, again, one step further as a multi-touch tool when it comes to your prospecting and marketing. And we're going to be integrating with Google Drive, okay, and Google Docs. We're going to give you the ability to do mail merge with this. So let's say you create, a series of 3 or 4 letters inside of for a particular multi-touch campaign. You'll be able to click on a button, select the letter that you want to mail merge this. We will push this over to Google Drive and merge this data with that letter. And then all you have to do, or your assistant has to do, is to go into that folder that you designated on your drive and just print off the letters, stuff them in an envelope, put a stamp on them, and get them in the mail. And I got to tell you, we truly are just scratching the surface of what you see right now with myVirtualCaller. By the time we get to 2.0, this is truly going to be a tool all right, to build a business. I can't even begin to tell you the type of things that I want to be putting into this system. So with that said, this wraps up this overview video of myVirtualCaller's dashboard. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.